Welcome to Energise Coaching. Here we're going to take a look at the horizontal leg press, and we're going to focus on quad bias here. So what we're trying to do is really accentuate the quad fibers, or the fibers in the thigh. Okay, now a few considerations first for setup. Now you'll notice I put two bands on the seat here, and that's a little trick of the trade. That's going to stop my glutes sliding up and down throughout the set. It's going to give me a little bit more grip so my pelvis is more stable. Okay, now we also need to think about seat positioning, and this handle will move the seat up and down. Okay, now I've got quite short legs, so actually I go as far down as it will go. We don't want the machine bottoming out, and let me give you an example of that. So for example, if I set the machine there, whilst I can straighten my legs just fine, it won't allow me to get very deep. So I need to get a lot deeper than that to get these fibers in the quads lengthened. Okay, so I need to take this deeper to allow me to access a greater range of motion. Okay, so setup wise, because we're targeting the quads, I want my feet about hip width apart and as low down on that plate as physically possible, but I also need to make sure that the heels stay on the foot plate. Okay, so from there I go into my start position, and again notice on the foot plate how low my feet are, and they're hip width apart. Hip width apart to line up the hips, the knees and the ankles. You've got to bear in mind the knee is a hinge joint, and we want the knee nice and safe hinging in a straight line. Okay, so let's go into the set. Okay, now as I go through the set, I'll tell you what I'm thinking. Control wise, I'm lowering nice and slowly, so I'm lengthening my quad fibers under control. I'm getting as deep as I can, and you'll see that I'm actually still bottoming this machine out. So in an ideal world, I'd like to set this even deeper. Okay, now I'm going to pause at the bottom. Now that's crucial. One thing I don't want to do is bounce out of that position there, because that's going to put a lot of pressure on the hips, the knees and the ankles. So I'm pausing for a split second at the bottom, and then driving that foot plate away from me towards the walls, and I'm putting as much stimulation through these quad fibers as possible. So I'll do a few reps now, and you can start to see how this looks. Getting as deep as possible. And like I say, I've got to stress this, in that bottom position there, I'm not thinking about going that way, I'm thinking about pushing the foot plate away from me. Okay, so that is the horizontal leg press focusing on quads.